Welcome to the Strange Files, where reflection becomes emergence, taking ordinary things and spiraling them into life principles, metaphors, and new perspectives on possibility, seeing life from new angles. Have you ever looked at an ordinary object and thought, that can teach me something? Such as, a whisk can become a reflection on connection. A train track can become a way of understanding progressive recurrence. Even your housework can reveal something about maintenance, rhythm, and life. This podcast is a place for spiraling life principles through ordinary things and for exploring the reflections, patterns, and perceptions that shape how we move through life. It's an exploration about noticing and about what becomes possible when we see from new angles. I often use ordinary things as metaphors because everyday life can carry more meaning than we first notice. It's less about giving answers and more about opening exploration from a different lens. It's not overthinking. It's evolving thought that can provoke new perspectives. Awareness can refine expression. So hold on to your seats. This ride could get a little weird. I'm Lisa. Welcome to the Strange Files. Okay, what can a buffet teach us about the choices we make and how much we keep loading onto our plates? I think buffets might actually reveal a disturbing amount about human behaviour. Because if you've ever watched humans at a buffet, you'll notice something almost immediately. Most people walk in acting like food is about to become illegal. Plates stacked to dangerous architectural heights, 3 different cuisines emotionally fighting for survival in the same corner, and a single lettuce leaf balanced on top. And the more I thought about it, the more I realised humans don't just do this with food. We do this with life. Because humans really do move through life emotionally loading their plates with things like responsibilities, expectations, pressure, opportunities, unfinished healing, emotional labour, constant stimulation, information, and other people's problems. And then wonder why they feel overwhelmed afterwards. Which makes sense, right? Because some people aren't burnt out because life gave them too much. They're burnt out because they keep emotionally serving themselves like unsupervised children at a dessert buffet, just piling more and more onto already overloaded plates. Like, yes, I absolutely do have the capacity for 17 emotional spring rolls and a side of unresolved trauma. Which honestly feels like a psychological equivalent of balancing 14 mozzarella sticks on top of mashed potatoes whilst pretending this was a sensible decision. But the strange thing here is, a lot of humans don't even stop to ask, do I actually want this on my plate? Because sometimes we take things simply because they are there, such as opportunities, responsibilities, emotional baggage, expectations from other people, endless stimulation, things we think we should carry. And somewhere along the way, we start confusing available with necessary, which explains why so many people are exhausted. Because not everything needs to be carried. Not everything needs your energy. And not everything belongs on your plate in the first place. And weirdly, buffets also expose something else about humans. Overindulgence. Because even when people are already full, they still go back for another plate. And we also do this emotionally too. More pressure, more commitments, more scrolling, more noise, more emotional consumption, more responsibilities, and more mental clutter. As if somehow one more thing isn't eventually going to become the thing that tipped the whole plate over. And eventually, the plate reaches full capacity. Things will start mixing together, nothing is being fully appreciated anymore, and what originally felt enjoyable starts becoming overwhelming instead, which honestly feels like modern life in general. Too much information, too much urgency, too many of us trying to carry entire emotional buffets while their nervous systems quietly scream somewhere in the background. And maybe that's the real reflection underneath all of this. Maybe balance was never about removing everything from our plates completely. Maybe it's about becoming more intentional about what we choose to carry. Because not every opportunity needs to become an obligation. Not every emotion needs to become your responsibility. And not every plate needs to look like it's preparing for a psychological winter, which honestly might be one of the strangest things about buffets. They reveal capacity, not just appetite. And maybe we would feel lighter sometimes if we stopped loading our lives like there's never going to be another chance to return to the table. Because life, unlike a badly supervised buffet, usually keeps flowing. And sometimes the healthiest thing we can do is stop going back for refills that we no longer even enjoy. I will pick this up again soon, and I will see you there.